The basketball addicts are back at it. This time we're talking about what's going on in Oklahoma City. Like, seriously. Carmelo Anthony exits. They become one of the top 4, in my opinion, teams in the Western Conference. And I'm going to ask somebody to explain away the successes of this team. Randy, we start with you. What do you credit to the resurgence of OKC?
I'm not going to sit here and go, Carmelo's not on the team, so the team's better. Like, I'm just not, I think that's disrespectful to what that guy's done in his career, as much as, you know.
Really? Is it?
Yeah, because people are like acting like they didn't sign a starting point guard who averaged like 19 points per game.
There's your argument right there.
Dennis Schroeder's a legit player. He can go in, he can come off the bench and score 20
minutes. But that also
lends
to the argument that Dennis Schroeder is better than Carmelo Anthony.
He is right now.
What about being a better fit, not a better player?
Right.
Oh, there's a good argument.
Right. They needed another playmaker, and they got it.
That was really what held them back last season?
I think also there's another year of playing together under your belt. Like, Paul George is a lot more comfortable. You're starting to understand the nuances of Russell's game and when he's not going to pass and when he is going to pass. And I think Paul George has also just elevated his game. So you put those things together, and the team's better.
I agree.
Okay.
I think definitely Billy Donovan has done a better job of rotations.
Yeah.
He puts Schroeder on the court a lot more with Paul George.
Right.
And Russell gets to come back on the court with, like, Jeremy Grant, one of those guys, and Steven Adams who can do his thing. And Roberson off the court is helping them, more shooters, because guys will be able to sag off of Roberson, and it's tough for driving lanes for anybody. So now with you put the new kids, Hamidou Diallo, all those guys who can shoot the ball, have a lot more driving lanes, and that's why I think they'll be more successful.
So that locker room getting cleaned up doesn't move the needle for you?
No.
No, eh? Wow.
Not at all.
I'm the bad guy. Okay. All right. Well, let's move on to something else. Paul George, and you mentioned it, is having a career year, Tweet. But he's doing it without Russell Westbrook adjusting his game. And I don't know if I saw that coming. Randy probably did, because he's got 20/20 vision and he knows everything. But explain that to me, how a guy who
out with 300 followers,
who we feel like is sometimes a detriment to his counterparts, but still now we're seeing that Paul George can survive perfectly fine alongside whatever version of Russell Westbrook is on the court.
I'll say two things. The injury that he sustained, I think, 2 years ago, I think he's now fully 100%. And second, Russell fighting for him during free agency and show him that I want you this bad.
Yeah.
I think they had to have that much more chemistry together. And now Russ probably told him, like, listen, Paul already got my MVP. Be you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fall back, but you be you.
fall back, he's still averaging a triple-double.
Right.
Like, it could be the third year in a row that that's happened. That's, like, unbelievable. So, you know, obviously maybe the scoring numbers aren't as high and the rebound maybe not as high, but it was still triple-double across the board when I looked like 3 days ago.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
but he's deferring a lot more. And
sure.
when Russ defers, that means that maybe other people can go off.
Yep. Prime example, the game against Brooklyn, when Russ was deferring the whole game to PG when he had like 25 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's
the game-winning shot. So
that's the first time we've seen Russell do that, and he played with KD for like 7 years, which is crazy, right? People were asking at the end of that, like, why does he not defer? But hey, time heals all wounds, of course, and you learn over time. Now, the Pelicans are a conundrum for me. Individually, guys are playing well. Guys are putting up great numbers. But in the tight Western Conference, they still sit outside the leader pack. Are you a believer in this collection of players as they are currently assembled?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So outside the leader pack, yeah, I really do. I mean, okay, as soon as you get Elfrid Payton back, I think I believe in it. They have,
nobody's ever said that.
What?
AKA
they have
the
one
haircuts.
point guard right now that can actually do things, and he's better. He shouldn't be playing the point guard position the entire time. He's doing so much.
Yeah.
Also, like, out of the Western Conference means you're what? Like, a game or two behind out of the first seed.
Okay, but here's my problem with this. Anthony Davis is built as a transcendental player. He's had injury issues up to this point in his career. This year he's finally healthy. But if you're a transcendental player, I'm thinking of LeBron James. LeBron James automatically made the Cavs one of the elite teams in the league. Now, they were playing in the Eastern Conference, but Anthony Davis has not done that. Should we doubt his labeling of a truly transcendental player, Anthony?
I think we definitely should. I feel like just last year, Rajon Rondo gave Anthony a lot of confidence going into the playoffs and made him kind of step up. Before, where Anthony would get a minor injury and be sitting out for a longer period of time. So I don't think he gives his teams that confidence and that leadership on the floor. He's a great player, but I don't see it in him.
Yeah.
That was a pained expression.
It's Anthony Davis, though.
I just got to call it how I see it.
Is he truly transcendental?
It is a conundrum, though, because he's got, he's 40, 17, 5, and 4, and 3, and 11, or whatever that.
Yeah, the numbers are stupid.
Yeah, but you're right. Like he's not taking a team and bringing them to the promised land. He's not. Like, yeah, I felt like last year's success was a little bit of fluke, and they started out so strong this year. I'm like, I still don't believe in them. Look, you still have to defend. You got a good guy that can defend Drew Holiday.
Right.
I think Anthony Davis is probably a pretty good defender. I don't know if he's elite, but you also have Nikolai Mirotic, who couldn't get off the bench in Chicago.
Right.
So yeah, you're asking him to be a good scorer stuff, but he's not defending anybody.
Nobody.
So you have your center, who's sort of, I guess, yeah, he's tall and all world, but he's a bit of a slight guy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like he's not going to get bodied at times. So I think they need another piece. I don't know. They just don't scare me. They just don't defend.
No. And I think we need to take Anthony Davis down a peg from transcendental to just an all-star, in my opinion.
Yes.
Now,
I agree.
Here's another thing that's interesting to me. George Hill gets traded to the Milwaukee Bucks. Yes or no, does this move the needle for you?
No.
No.
Yes.
Ooh, explain.
He's a good player.
Yeah.
And he's got playoff experience.
Mm-hmm.
He hounded Kyle Lowry when he was with the Pacers.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he makes that team better, and that's scary because they're already sort of coming into their own, playing this new brand of basketball where Brook Lopez taking 12 threes, missing them all. Occasionally, because sometimes he hits
Splash
them.
Mountain, best nickname.
But I just think that, anytime you can add a guard that, is 13, 14 points per game when he's healthy, maybe even higher than that, and can make threes, and he's strong, he's tough, he's long. It's not gonna make you worse, that's for sure.
But moving the needle, though?
Yeah, it doesn't really move the needle.
Like in a playoff scenario.
If you play them in the playoffs, I'm more scared of the Bucks because they have George Hill than if they didn't have George Hill.
True, solid point. Now, let's talk about something else, because I really want to talk about this. Giannis Antetokounmpko came out and said, because, there's all the talk of LeBron, Wade, summer workouts. They work out with KD, they work out with Paul George, they work out with everybody and their trainer. Giannis said it feels wrong. It would feel wrong for him to join in this wave of summer workouts with your supposed rivals, throwing it back to the 80s. Are you a fan of AD's mentality, or are you more of a let's all learn together, be amicable, buddy NBA Randall?
We talked a little bit about this on the other show. I
pretend that didn't happen.
Okay, I think that I like Giannis and him not wanting to play with LeBron. For summer camp or whatever they do.
I don't think they call it summer camp.
You know what I mean? Like, I like that he's that kind of a guy. We don't have that kind of a guy anymore. We don't have the.
I think it's important because a lot of these guys, and you can speak to it, they come from AAU.
Yep.
There's no borders anymore. They've all played on all-star teams together.
Right.
They're all super familiar, whereas Giannis is coming from across the water.
Right.
Like, I get it. It's a brotherhood, and you're like, you know what? We're in a great situation. We're all, like, all these guys are in the NBA making money, and you want to help each other, and that's kind of cool. But I also like the competitive nature of, like, I'm going to beat this guy's ass today.
Hey, no cussing. Hey, time out, no cussing. I'm playing. You can say that.
100%.
But we do have to save some time, sorry, because we have a very special Sweet to Sour Play of the Week, and it's a long one. And guess who it features? My squad, but not at their finest moment. This is the Dwayne Watson Sweet Sour Play of the Week featuring Los Angeles Lakers ball movement. Check it out. You got your boy Lonzo, the Stevenson, the kick, Caldwell Pope in the corner with the brick, but he saves it. Now check this out. Ooh, the ball, fake. Stevenson turns down the layup, turnover. The Heat aren't much better, so they don't do much with the possession. Guess what happens though? Outlet, Lonzo, check this pass. What the? That was absolutely horrible.
That is unbelievable.
And watch Luke Walton's face. Maybe the moment of the day. After they make this shot, Luke Walton gives us an expression that's pretty much every coach who's ever coached me in organized basketball. Where's Luke? Show me Luke! We didn't see Luke! That was the best part! How did we not see